Radiant team, ban.
All right, guys, welcome back to Netolic Pro League 4th edition, Dignitas versus Speed Gaming, Game 2. As Game 1 went to Speed Gaming, EE and Sing Sing too much to handle for the Dignitas squad, who seemed to have an early lead with Clairvoyance actually kind of man-moding through. Doesn't look like he will be standing in yet again, and Relic has taken his spot. While we get going here, bans are aplenty. My name is Ever, and I'm joined alongside by ProveAttitude.
Very happy to be here and happy to have all of you viewers here with us as well. Speed Gaming performing very well last game, but Dignitas put up a pretty good fight. So Speed Gaming up one game. Dignitas, they've got to win this game if they want to force their hand, or Speed Gaming's hand rather, into a Game 3. To kind of give you guys more information on how the tournament is structured, basically every week there is a cup, a single elimination cup. All the matches are best of 3. Whoever wins that cup wins $1,000 just for that cup alone. On top of that, depending on how far you go in the cup, you get points, and those points correspond to if you get into the playoffs and your positioning in the playoffs. So there's going to be 5 of those cups, so $5,000 on the line for whoever is able to win these cups, and then after that will be the playoffs for where the big money is. So this is just Cup 1. Already Fnatic has qualified to go into round 2 of this cup, and already EG has progressed onto round 2 as well. So we'll see if Speed Gaming takes this game, they will progress as well. If not, we have to go to a Game 3 to decide who will be moving on to round 2.
It is worth mentioning that if Speed Gaming take this, I will have an interview with one of them right after, so make sure to stick around for that. If we continue on to Game 3, whoever wins, we'll sit down with someone from the winning team, have a quick little chat at the end of today, and just kind of recap today's events. It's been a decent day. Elder Titan yet again squeaking through, this time in Game 2 of this match. First time we'll see him on this stage with these teams. Troll Warlord in response, as well as Weaver. Yet again, Speed Gaming going more of the same. Visage, this time picked up for Dignitas. Gonna have to be careful with those familiars against Geminate, for certain.
Yeah, same lineup so far for Speed Gaming, and we'll see if Sing Sing is going to be on that Troll once again, and Eternal Envy on the Weaver as well. But Dignitas, they're going to switch it up a little bit. I like the Elder Titan pickup. I think it's incredibly strong. We already saw him already today in a couple of matches of EG versus Live. So he's made some appearances thus far, and we'll see if he performs as well. He's great at disrupting the team fight, and his aura is absolutely huge in the game. No matter what lineup you go with, that aura is just insanely valuable to a team. But the bans are going to come out now. Darkseer nixed from Speed Gaming. Dignitas going to go ahead and get rid of the clockwork. They do not want to deal with Bone 7's clockwork again. That was just ridiculous.
They shut it down quite well with Clairvoyance on Lifestealer, able to eat him up, but this time around it's going to be Relic, and we'll see what they can manage to get done against Bone 7. If it is a clockwork, they ban out Prophet, and it's kind of not obviously going to go that way with the clockwork being banned out this time around. So I don't think it was as detrimental as you would think until the later stages of the game. It really was the whole reason that game turned around, was one single cogs cutting off the team fight. But don't you think just as easily the same result could have happened had Pylai been able to line up a Fissure on that staircase and block off the actual initiation from the team?
Yeah, for sure. It was all about positioning in that fight, and Dignitas, they wanted to back up, they wanted to get the upper ground, but unfortunately everybody could not get to that upper ground instead. So I do feel like Speed Gaming, they had a lot of ways to really disrupt that fight and block off that entrance. But if Dignitas could have gotten everybody up on the hill, you're talking about a vacuum into a wall. It could have easily gone in the favor of Dignitas. So it's just those little small decisions in the game and those small movements that really turn the tides of these team fights. So it was close. It was a very close game up until the last 7 minutes. So you can't really fault Dignitas for losing that. It was really just that one team fight that really swayed the tides of the game.
And now it is Lifestealer, this time for Speed Gaming. So many core heroes coming out for them. Sing Sing middle again, EE on the Weaver then. And this is going to put Bone 7 on Lifestealer, presumably. But that would be interesting nonetheless. They might swap EE and Bone 7, but I don't imagine so, having EE come off just a 3 minute and 30 second Midas game It's a bit out of control, I must say. I don't know the point necessarily in the Luna ban, though. They have two heroes that have avatar potential, and Weaver who can slip away from an Eclipse, and I don't think Luna farms that good against either of the three.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with you there. It was an interesting ban out. I feel like Lifestealer, Weaver, and Troll can deal with that. And you have 3 core heroes from Speed Gaming. They really do need the farm up on those heroes. And Luna, she's pretty weak early on. She needs that farm as well, but I feel like she could get shut down in this game and it wouldn't really be a threat. Sure, you can Elder Titan sleep into an Earth Splitter into a Luna ultimate, but right when they're unslept, you're talking about BKB and Rage on the Lifestealer and the Troll. So I have to agree with you there that I just don't think Luna would have been a factor. But, you know, as Eternal Envy, there might just be some insight into that ban that we're just not thinking about.
More than likely, it has to be. It is EE, indeed, banning out this time around. Pylai was the last one to do so.
Yeah, true.
Picks need to be 2 support for Speed Gaming. Nyx Assassin getting picked up. Really good combination with Visage. Of note, we still indeed have a Rubik in the pool, as well as many other valuable support heroes to add on to this engagement. They went with the CM last time. I don't know if we'll see this more of the same. I don't know how well it exactly fits in here, but it may work out.
I like the lineup for Dignitas so far. Not only with the Elder Titan disrupting the team fights, but Visage is able to get in there with the familiars as well, and that helps to stun out a lot of heroes in the team fights. It's hard to deal with. They swoop in from the sides, and you can't really do too much about it in the midst of a fight. Same with Nyx. He sneaks in, he picks off a support in the background, presumably somebody like Crystal Maiden, who's going to be fairly squishy. But Crystal Maiden's getting a lot of action today in these matches that we've had, and I'm just kind of excited to see her really getting back into the scene. She has received a few buffs in her name within the past, I don't know, 5 months or so. So Ice Frog has continued to make her a little more of a viable option and more valuable to teams, and it seems like it's paying off. It has gotten her back into the scene where she was previously dropped out of.
I think it's just because of the utility she provides, and the Nova, the buff to the aura as well, got things rolling. And this is the first time we're going to see a Viper mid in some time, Prove. Korok going to be playing that one up against Sing 2.
Yeah, against the Troll, it will definitely be an interesting matchup. And I kind of feel like Viper might even be able to harass Sing out of the lane a little bit with that poison attack.
You know, it's just so easy to harass with Viper regardless of mana situation. So had OD been allowed in the pool, Viper is an extremely viable counter against it, can have 7 mana to his name, and still effectively harass someone out of an entire lane. It's interesting to see that it is not picked up in that context, but instead against a Troll Warlord who you have to imagine is going to deal a fair amount, but maybe it's meant to kind of slow down some of those auto attacks early out and really punish him for trying to lay down some auto attack harassment. However, if a good set of whirling axes is up, as well as the ranged whirling axes, look for some early kill opportunities for Sing, as Viper isn't notably the tankiest of heroes, and it's Storm Spirit ban away. Maybe they feel like mid is still on the table, but nearly certain it's going to be Korok on Viper. I don't know. It's not to say that others cannot play Viper to a competitive level. I just don't think anyone but Korok on this lineup has.
5 seconds.
Yeah, the Storm Spirit ban out was interesting. You would assume that Viper is going mid, but again, there's got to be reasoning into this, you guys, and I'm sorry that we can't exactly provide that insight. But, you know, there's always interviews after this. If Speed Gaming does manage to take it, we can kind of pick Eternal Envy's brain on these bans and picks and whatnot. So we'll see how that pans out. Bans are almost through with. Furion does get nixed out of here. One more ban for Dignitas, and they're really thinking this on through. We are looking for a support from Speed Gaming, and there's still plenty of supports in there. I mean, not too many supports were banned out. You have the Siren getting banned out and Io, and honestly, that's really the biggest like supports you could have in these tri-lanes. But Earthshaker is going to get taken out once again. Dignitas didn't really like Speed Gaming having that available to them last time. Might have just been their go-to hero, so they're going to go ahead, get him taken out. But again, there are plenty more supports to choose from. You have the Lifesteal, you have the Crystal Maiden, and just need +1.
The last one, definitely in need of a support pickup here
10
to shore up
seconds
the
remaining.
Lifestealer lane if that's how they want to run it, or they could safe lane farm the Lifestealer. That's the only
remaining.
switch I think we could potentially see coming out, is safe lane farming Lifestealer against an Elder Titan. Wouldn't be so bad. Weaver then would go aggressive against whoever Dignitas is thinking. And I don't know if I'll be wrong on Viper being mid or not. I imagine that's the only place I can see him, just because it's Korok. So last support will indeed be Chen, signaling more of a safe lane lineup.
Chen's gonna be in the jungle, Crystal Maiden pulling, supporting Lifestealer. I think it's all gonna work out in the long run. Waiting for this last pickup from Dignitas, just 20 seconds, so the time has really ticked down here. Everybody really taking their time with this draft. It could possibly be the end of the line rather, for Dignitas. So the Viper pickup is interesting for them, since we haven't seen them yet out of Dignitas, and we haven't seen them picked up in a while. And we'll see how Dignitas can roll with that. So our last pickup here, it's got to be, I mean, what are we looking for? If we're, I'm assuming a carry, if we're thinking Viper mid, Elder Titan offlane, Visage Nyx as supports in a tri-lane. So you're looking for this last pickup here. Got 20 seconds to decide.
Oof. It's got to be a hard carry. Alchemist is still available. They could go anything at this
Alchemist,
stage. I really
Gyro's
like
in the
Alchemist here.
pool. Who else is there they could possibly pick up?
Okay, here's the reason why I'll make a quick case for Alchemist. He can stun out Troll before much goes on, and Troll isn't a high health hero, but actually it will be a bounty hunter, which I didn't expect in the slightest. That's all right.
All right.
That'll work.
We'll see how this
But
pans
do we
out. How
farm
are
up
they
the
laning
bounty
this? Yeah, that's what I want to know, is how do you actually lane this?
Dual lanes are very probable
That's
here,
possible,
if
yeah.
they don't feel like ET can win his lane.
I don't know. We're about to see, so not gonna have to wait too long here. Everybody picking up their heroes of choice. Feel free to chat about it as we wait for this to get picked up, about that bounty hunter pickup. I think the lanes are definitely interesting for Dignitas, and might have even thrown Speed Gaming for a loop as well. I surely did not expect a bounty hunter to be picked up last tier.
I definitely didn't either, I must say, and that's all right. For those of you guys just joining us, this is Game 2. Speed Gaming up 1-0 against Team Dignitas in the Netolic Pro League number 4. This is Cup number 1. 1 cup per week. Winner takes home $1,000. It is kind of like a single elimination format, except for we do indeed play off for 3rd and 4th place, as if you don't win the money each week, you're allowed points to earn a spot in the finals. The final prize pool is 10K. 5K up for grabs in the group stages to try and keep things interesting for you guys, and it looks like it will indeed be Bounty Hunter offlane. So we have introductions in order for Dignitas. 1437, Nyx Assassin, Korok on the Viper Relic, on Elder Titan that was bleeding both together, Infinity on the Bounty Hunter, and Beat Is on the Visage.
On the dire side, we'd have Speed Gaming takes first game. Let's see how well they do this game. Highlight Die is going to be on your Crystal Maiden support. Bone 7 will actually be the Lifestealer. Owie on the chin. Mid lane's going to be Sing Sing once again on Troll. Got to keep an eye on the woods. Looks like everything's going to be alright there, actually. Eternal Envy, bottom lane. All on his own sim. He's going to be playing the Weaver once again. Lots of pings coming down. Looks like they're going to snipe the courier. They do it. That courier's down. Sing Sing. Oh man, he might have a rough time in this lane until that courier respawns. Infinity making things happen. What was the courier doing out there, and how did they know? What did I miss?
You missed everything, Proof. Everything.
Please elaborate.
Final answer.
How?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay.
In the middle of doing many other things.
I have no
want
idea.
an interview if this game finishes up, all right? It's important.
Pretty crazy,
People
though.
must hear from EE if EE wins. I'm sure that'll make the chat happy. Anyways, getting down to the laning phase. Obviously, Bounty Hunter is going to have a rough time. Just going to try and throw up some jungle disruption. The only sense that I like to pick in is that it's going to give Aoi 2000 a hard time farming through. If Bounty can come through with some good Janata strikes, it's going to potentially walk right back on to get another sentry if he goes back. And now, 4-man gank on middle. Sing Sing in trouble. And Impale, ooh, narrowly missing. The graphic was literally on the Troll's heel. but not able to connect, and therefore Sing Sing gonna walk away from this one. Had he gone back onto his own hill, it would have been an imminent death, and now seeing what they can turn around on Infinity, but instead elect that their positioning is not good enough and walk off.
Going all in to stop Sing Sing in this middle lane. I mean, already you have an Elder Titan against this troll. They pick up the courier and they try and wipe Sing Sing out before the game practically even starts. So putting a lot into that to try and stop Sing Sing's momentum from going on through. Bottom lane, Kurok is going to get supported just fine. Uncontested on this lane thus far. You're going to have the Nakes and Owie creeping together, being best buds in the jungle. Bone 7's going to be able to get that experience and gold just fine. Infinity trying to stop Eternal Envy on this top lane from farming up too much. Pylai Die there to help negate some of that damage and harassment that Infinity will do. Look at him just man up. Frost bites him even. Shadow Walk is still available on Infinity, but Eternal Envy is not getting bothered whatsoever. So Pylai Die being effective as a support, making that space for Weaver to farm.
The presence of 4 up top, you had to know that they were going to rotate Bone 7 over into the jungle and keep EE on that Weaver. It just made too much sense to do it this way and forfeit the off lane to Korok, who is not doing too bad of a job in farming, nearly keeping up with Eternal Envy, and Bone 7 not having the easiest of times. Has the support from Chen though, and that's what matters. So really, they'll be able to garner whatever advantage they can out of this area and just try and run disruption from the Dignitas camp on exactly what's going on. So they also have 4 relatively grouped up, and it's probably not the best positioning for them, but there's not much else they can do. Infinity already continually moving up and down into the jungle, seeing what he can find for his squad, and nothing yet that has been, I guess, juicy more or less, with this sentry still down for a moment longer.
You know, Ever, it might just be another one of those games where we see a bounty hunter just have to sit at level 1, 5-6 minutes into the game. It just sometimes happens in that regard where you can't even get close for experience, and now Infinity gets frostbitten. Sentry is down, but Infinity should be able to walk out of this as long as he doesn't extend himself rather. He's got to know that the sentries are down in the lane and he has to be careful. That's why you see so much rotation out of him, going from the jungle to the mid lane, back to top. He's trying to find experience, he's trying to find a pick off, but it's just kind of hard for him to do. He's got to tread carefully.
It's just the poor little bounty hunter in the world, man.
I know,
just
it's rough for those bounty hunters. It's rough.
Just want some experience, that's it.
There you go, hits level 2, yay!
Hits level 2, Pylai Die, throwing down some harassment, trading some blows. Frostbite comes down, they do not have sentries to go ahead and spot this out. And even if they did, sentries are actually on Infinity's person as well. The only thing he'll be able to use it for here is an Obs Ward on this side of the map, and therefore not going to garner too much advantage. The autos that are coming down from Relic in this mid lane against Sing Sing are intense, I have to say. I don't know what other way to describe it. Once the Astral Spirit deals damage, comes back, as long as you don't eat the Whirling Axes, those autos are tearing into Sing Sing. And he responds back with Whirling Axes of his own, but yet another rune goes the way of Relic, and Relic doing a very good job in this mid lane so far and trying to shut Sing down. 17 for 4 against 25 and 8. But honestly, it's all going to be about this ET grabbing up as much experience as he can. Levels up that natural order, gets that Earth Splitter rolling, and team fights will happen from that point on.
Despite, Sing Sing throwing out the axes to try and help win the lane, you also have Owie sending the Harpy to the mid lane, and that helps out so much because that Chain Lightning has a very low cooldown, very low mana cost, and you can fire it off quite a few times in that mid lane, so it does help Sing Sing out. Can't really elaborate on that more because there is a gank coming to the bottom lane. Bone 7, he's looking to start this out. The smoke gank is going to be very effective. Everybody caught out here. Kurok taking a lot of damage. Open wounds is applied. He's not going to make it out here alive. Frostbite on him as well. Frost Nova. Even Nyx is going to get taken out. Frostbite just proving to be too effective. And look at it. Everybody. Not everybody, actually. Beatus, nope, there he goes. He's out too. 3 down for Dignitas. They managed to take out the Crystal Maiden in the process. Meanwhile, mid lane, Sing also secures a kill on Relic. Barely escapes with his own life, but 4-1. Speed Gaming taking that. And now, top lane, it's everywhere. The action is all over the map. Ever Infinity, he has support coming in. The bugs are eating him alive. The bugs now expired. Looks like Eternal Envy is not going to be able to burst him out. And now, Eternal Envy, he's on the run. He does not have time lapse available. Infinity chasing him down. The Sentry 3 is laid down by Eternal Envy. He Shikuchis, he heals, he's getting off to safety. He's going to be just fine. I can't keep up. The action is everywhere.
We shouldn't doubt EE. He proved us wrong the last time around, went phase boots, and it paid off. And yet again, he goes for the phase boots to get those right clicks in there and has a lot of damage as a result. Almost able to take down Infinity, but not quite. Sing actually rotated off on that mid lane between the Berserker's Rage and got off that damage reduction enough in time that he lived and was able to kill Relic behind his tower, and Relic thought he had a sure thing. The autos become just absolutely powerful once that Astral Spirit returns. Infinity right on top of Sing. We'll see exactly what he'll do. Whirling Axes is down. They might have the right to go here. 1-4-3-7 and Beat is all on top. Sing not so fortunate to escape this time. Soul Assumption Cubs down. And Nyx Assassin with the last hit there. Top lane though, Korok in a whole lot of trouble. Eternal Envy looking to show up here. Doesn't want to quite take any autos from Korok, just trying to get some damage in there with Shikuchi. Will Korok actually get away from this? And there's the slow, and there's finally the kill. EE just playing it extremely safe, knowing that any turn of auto attacks would spell his demise. And instead, grabs the kill just safely with Bone 7 farming away on bottom, trying to dig his way into this game. Not on Clockwork, who's become his trademark recently, and stun up, mana burn as well. Bounty Hunter not able to throw in that Shuriken Rage just in time to cancel off the damage.
Yeah, Shuriken only level 1 too.
It's only level 1, yeah, it wasn't gonna kill,
yeah.
but still.
It was good timing though, regardless on that Rage, any which way you spin it. But yeah, Bounty Hunter, these ganks early on from Dignitas, 4-man ganks, it's sad that they don't have track up yet though. If track was up with all 4 of those heroes around, the gold graphs would be great in favor of Dignitas. But Bounty Hunter, he's getting dangerously close to that level 6, sitting at 4.5 right now, looking to move to the mid lane once again. They really want to stop Sing's momentum completely this game and stop any farm he could be getting up there already. On the gold graphs, he's sitting second, just right behind Viper at 53 to 47. Sing going into deep, gets stunned out by 1437. Infinity coming around the back. The Hand of God is going to get popped. Twilight die in there, forces the support. The Nova, the Frostbite, it all stifles this momentum out of Dignitas. Dignitas forces back up. Bone 7 healing heaps of damage to 1437. Infinity, he's trying to make his grand escape now as well. Shadow Walk is not available. Relic, he's in there. He's in too deep. Might be able to get Sing. Does manage to kill Sing, but now Beat is in the backfield. Bone 7 with a nice infest out of the creeps onto Relic once again. Relic manning up, kills Lifestealer, but Pylai die. He's out of the fight. Relic still lives, manning through all of that. Manages to take down 3. They lost Nyx, they lost Troll. Oh man. Big fight from Dignitas.
Self-stun right on top of 1437 top side. Impale is down, or I'm sure he would have loved to pick up on that one and chain it through for a kill, but not quite so lucky. EE moves back to the jungle. Bounty Hunter in pursuit. Keep an eye on that shortly, but that 3-man trade mid is not what Speed Gaming needed. They are on top of this game in terms of gold, but not so much now. Korok, even after dying a couple of times here, he got the first blood on that first gank, and that pretty much paid for the death, and then now he comes up with a little bit more advantage, going 2 for 2, and it's not looking so great for Speed Gaming. They just need to kind of bide their time and get right back in. And the Midas isn't going to kind of exponentially grow the Weaver as well as it did last game, but certainly he's still going to be a threat once he gets that LS up and running. It'll shut down the Viper harass too, which is something they need to look into.
Yeah, that is true. Bounty Hunter really trying to make things happen, but he's got to get some more levels under his belt before he tries to go around and gank someone like a Weaver. If he had had a few more levels in Janata or Shuriken, really, either one, probably would have secured that kill on Weaver. So unfortunately, the levels were just not there for him, but they will be eventually. Relic is going to grab the invisibility, gets frostbitten. Are there any sentries? There are sentries on Pylai Dive, opting not to go for this, but meanwhile, on the top lane, Nyx, he might just be able to secure himself a kill, does manage to do so. Infinity on the front end of that attack. Eternal Envy there to soak up that experience as well as gold. Good momentum out of Speed Gaming so far. 8-5 is the score right now. The gold graphs. Let's take a look at that. 2K advantage for Speed Gaming.
Real quick, gank coming on Relic this time. It looks like it's going to be successful. Troll amping things up with the ultimate. Infinity here tries to save a little bit. but not able to do so as Relic goes down. So he will just instead kind of take a walk around the middle lane as 4 heroes from Speed Gaming are all in the vicinity. You can go back to your grass
Yeah,
now, Prue.
thank you. No worries. Yeah, just about 3k advantage now for Speed. So very slight lead, nothing huge, 11 minutes into the game. This tower kill mid will help that out a little bit to give Speed Gaming more money. But it looks like we're going to try and have a defense. Eternal Envy, being a ninja, sneaking around, might just run into B-Diz. If B-Diz gets called out here, he's going to be in trouble. He does. The bugs are latched on. They're attacking him. They're minusing his armor. Eternal Envy going to be able to chase this down. Infinity there trying to help out. Kruk gets into the action. Manages to do a lot of damage to Weaver. Weaver with the time lapse back into the safety of Bone 7's arms. But now the fight's not over. Nakes, he's going to go ahead with the open wounds. The rage. He tries to get out of this. He does not manage to TP out in time. Relic with the big plays, but still it doesn't matter. Sing Sing is down, and now Kurok looks to chase down Eternal Envy. Eternal Envy doesn't have time lapse available, but can Shikuchi out of here. Pylite die with the frostbite. Still Eternal Envy, he's deep in. He wants to deal some damage to Kurok rather. But 1437, he's there to help out. Eternal Envy, you're in trouble. You're in a lot of trouble. The bugs are going to eat Kurok, but he can destroy them. He can't destroy them in time. Chin there with the creeps, with the right clicks. What is going on? Who won this?
2000 triple kill and triple kill on EE. I think it's safe to say Speed Gaming comes out on top of that engagement, and just when it looked like Korok could not be stopped in that engagement, garnering a triple kill of his own, or sorry, double kill of his own, he just got stifled. EE manned up and actually took him out. Aoi 2000 in a lot of trouble now. Good follow-up from 1437. Pylai die now on the ropes. They are chasing. Will they even get a track on this one? And the familiar takes it down, reveals where CM is going in the tree line. Really good job there to secure 2 more kills, and that Chen spree is now fed away over towards Dignitas. So still say Speed Gaming walks away a little bit better, but Bone 7 looks like he was not tanky whatsoever against Korok, who just ate him alive.
Game is starting out really good for Speed Gaming already, 13-10. Sing Sing, he's trying to get the farm up. Currently, the net worth for him is sitting at 48. You have Viper on top of the scoreboard at 6,700, and Weaver just behind that at 5,300. So definitely things are going well for Speed, but Kurok's getting that farm up. He's getting the momentum. And now top lane, they're going to have a go on Eternal Envy. Eternal Envy, he has the support coming in. Coming on through, has time lapse. It's hard to take him out, you know. It's very hard to actually be able to burst that damage down, especially when you don't have an actual disable on this top lane. Between Infinity and Kurok, there's not much lockdown. Now you have everybody kind of coming on through. Looks like Infinity might just meet Aoi 2000 in the jungle here. He's going to have to be careful. Surely there's going to be some sentries. Nope, no sentries on the Chin. The sentries are all on the Crystal Maiden, hoarding the wards like Crystal Maidens like to do. Sing might just get surrounded here. Going around back is going to be Infinity. Spotting out Sing now. Nobody else is nearby quite yet. 1437. Invis skiing around back as well.
Away.
Yeah, Sing knows what's going on, so it would be hard to catch him out. But the tower is going to take a beating here. Can we see a defense come down from Speed Gaming?
Actually, I was going to say EE will probably push like he did last game and trade, but instead they actually want to defend. They think that they have a better team fight, and why not after they grabbed 6 kills in the last engagement? Almost gave away just as many on accident. Look at that Spirit just walk through the entirety of the team, dealing so much damage so quickly. Bounty Hunter grabbing Haste, EE kind of spotting that out, wanting to see what he can do, which is absolutely nothing in that regard. So he's going to have to walk back up to top lane, continue on his farm. Bone 7 finishes up his armlet, going to be able to take fights better, and with as much action has been going on this game, you'd never know it's only 15 minutes in, Proof. There has been 23 kills 15 minutes into this game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Bounty Hunter is the comeback hero by all means. You have that track, and once you get that track applied to heroes and heroes die, granted they have to die, Speed Gaming will have to lose heroes in order for that track to go off. But it is a comeback hero. That track can get you back into the game. So despite Dignitas being down 3k, it's not huge. It's not a huge difference, and you still have the Bounty Hunter. So Dignitas is not out of this game by any means. Speed Gaming, they have the momentum right now, but we saw one team fight last game game shifted the momentum, and that could easily happen again, this time in the favor of Dignitas. But it looks like Roshan is going to get sought after here. Is Dignitas aware that this is going on? Spirit already moving to check it out. Did it get there in time? I don't know if the vision was actually there. I don't know. I don't think it has that much vision, but we do see the rotations coming down from Dignitas, so they know what's going on. Unfortunately for them, Eternal Envy, he's in the backfield, looking to cut off the escape of Dignitas. If things go sour, Roshan is going to get aborted here. They're going to go ahead and try and just force a fight out. Bugs are getting destroyed. That's not going to be a viable option now in this team fight, but look at Eternal Envy. The Bone 7 bomb is there, manages to take out Visage in the process. Sing Sing getting in there, going head-to-head against Kurok. Kurok knitted down from the Chin Creeps. Affinity looking to take out Bone 7. Bone 7 with the armlet toggling. It's not going to be enough. Lifestealer is down and out of this fight. Everybody is retreating now. Infinity and Relic looking to take out Pylite Die. Ultimate is going to get canceled there. Sing Sing getting in on the action. We need to see some bashes coming on through. The missed chances are there regardless. Infinity going up against Sing Sing. Kurok's there to help out with that damage being dealt. Infinity and Relic, they're looking to get away. They're surrounded on all fronts from enemies, though. It does not look good for them already. Infinity is out. Relic getting chased down. Chain Creep is there for the stomp. Relic stunned out. He goes down. That was a 5-man wipe.
Did you not see the EE buyback?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, EE bought back, time-lapsed in, downed 1437,
Wow.
downed Korok. Like, that was just buyback time-lapse. We've seen it before, but never really that effective in the middle of a team fight, but it's because he literally got bug smashed at the beginning of that fight, and he just comes back and cleans up house. That was huge. I can't even stress enough how that might have just won him the game right there if they continue on this path. They maybe need 1 or 2 decisive fights under their belt, but this is really going to be a quick game because of how many kills have happened this early on. Experience graph now dipping down the way in the favor it went for the first time in Dignitas' favor just before that fight, and after crashing back down towards Speed Gaming. Gold, a little bit of the same, was dipping back up, and it's now a 4,000 gold game. Not quite as marginal as it could be for Dignitas, but they haven't been able to really continue on the momentum in fights. Just when it looks like they're up in the team fight, Envy just has this way of walking in and changing the entire dynamic of what is going on, and he hasn't cared what health Korok has been at. It could have been anywhere from half to full, and he will still go on the appropriate target, and it's paying dividends for them, I must say. Much different than last game where we saw him come in and kind of not really have an impact immediately, even though he had a lot in the way of items, and then once they finally decided to fight, it was great, but he even got splatted there, and it was mostly, I dare say, a Sing Sing show, even though EE was top of farm, so really good job coming through this game for his team.
Smoke up. Kurok is going to be the bait there for them, but nobody's nearby. There's not going to be anything happening. Everybody's on the bottom lane. We might just see some tower trades here. You have a tier 1 tower up here that could get picked off pretty easily, but if they manage to do that, they are going to trade a tier 2 on the bottom lane, because that is where Speed Gaming is at. Already the TPs are coming forth. We're going to have to see everybody else get on down there. TPs are available on everybody, so they can defend this tier 2. Tier 1 tower is going to fall. Do we see the rotations? There they come, slowly but surely. But can they fight this? You have the Aegis on Eternal Envy. Sing Sing with ultimate available. We'll see if Relic can set up a team fight. There goes the stomp. Does not hit anybody except for the Chain Creep. So no initiation available there just yet. Gonna have to wait, but they're not gonna have time to wait. Eternal Envy, he's going in. Bone 7 pops right out. 1437 taking a beating. He's not gonna survive through this, and now Hand of God keeping everybody into the fight still. Relic, he's forced back. Courier's getting in on the action. Might just get picked off. He's getting it annoyed and ignored, that is, and Eternal Envy pops the Aegis. Earth Splitter only lands on Pylite Die. Eternal Envy back into the fight. Dignitas is holding their own. They lost the tier 2 tower, but they are holding their own. They only lose the Nyx. They can't go out and fight this. They have to defend this inside of their base. Do not get over committed here. And that's going to be it. Speed Gaming going to be the ones to opt out of this. They got their tower. They got a kill. Only lost the Aegis in the process, so they didn't really lose much in that fight at all.
I think the story of the game really is going to start to come down to net worth, with Elder Titan the closest on the Radiant squad for them and still not doing so hot. Korok is leading the way, but there's so much core on the Speed Gaming side that it's going to be hard to shut down, and this is not one of those games you really want to be rushing or letting another team rush into the kills. You want to play as defensive as possible, and that is the opposite of what's happened. It's 19-13, 20 minutes into the game, over a kill per minute pace, and these fights have just been absolutely seismic in what they've accomplished. So although Dignitas has been able to fight back through a lot of these bad situations, it hasn't quite been to their liking. They haven't been able to secure the kills and then walk away. It just seems like at every turn, Speed Gaming is shutting off the exits. And Infinity getting some tracks up and ready. They want to have a go on this tier 1 tower, which will take a fall. Fortification unavailable for the Speed Gaming squad as the Spirit continues to run through and deal some precursor damage. They have an idea of where one another are. BDiz rounding the corner, throwing up an OBS. And now the bomb is loaded up. EE gonna make a move on defending this middle lane. See exactly how they decide to initiate this one. Dignitas really just needs to back off, but instead they're gonna go. Korok leading the front lines, 1437 on the wing. Doesn't realize Envy is there. They have an additional wolf there for the Aura. And here we go. Relic, Infest up, is going to get taken out before he can provide anything but an ultimate that's going to hit maybe Owie, and no, Owie able to maneuver himself out in time. 1437, the next target, BKB up on Envy, not able to lock him down in the slightest with that Carapace. BDiz fighting for his life. Gemini going to be enough from downtown to secure the double kill. Envy still going here, and Infinity there, triple kill, looking for the quad kill here, and now Korok, next target on the list. They will lock him down and get a kill. It's up to who gets the last hit. An ultra kill out for Envy. Impressive showing yet again. Dignitas 5-man wiped, and Speed Gaming is definitely in control of this one, folks.
It's starting to be pretty rough for Dignitas. Speed Gaming just marched right on through in that team fight. They didn't really seem to fear anything, and immediately Dignitas's position was disrupted. They couldn't even get the Earth Splitter off. They couldn't get the sleep off, and that's what it comes down to. Dignitas, they have to get that ultimate lined up and that team fight lined up, but Speed Gaming isn't going to allow them that opportunity to do so. 14-24, Speed Gaming starting to heavily take the lead now. Gold graphs about 14k advantage still in Speed Gaming's favor. XP graphs about 10k. And this has got to be almost the end of the line for Dignitas. Maybe if they get a good team fight off, they could pull out a couple of wins here, but they've got to do something. They've got to pull out a win this game, or it's it for this cup. They will not be eligible to win any more points or win the $1,000, so they've got to kick it into gear.
And now, I mean, it's only cup number 1, but Relic looking to get up some farm out of that mid lane. We'll see if it's a Shiva's from him. He hasn't had the best initiation of fights, and really Elder Titan's job is to throw up as much disruption, and without that natural order, Korok cannot eat the heroes quite as easily as he would if he were just alive in the fight. So Relic really needs to work on that positioning. It looked like Korok was in the front lines going to get taken out. 1437 was right around that tree line at the wrong time, and they just didn't initiate in time. So it's funny the way some of these things happen. If they would have happened marginally different, it could have been much, much worse for Dignitas. At least Korok stood in there to try and fight his way through the entire time, is what I must say. It's not like they didn't have the opportunity to fight or they're doing everything horribly wrong. Dignitas has played some good games. They just haven't been able to finish off some of these team fights and take some real advantages. I don't know whether to say it was miscommunication. I think that's rather unfair for game 1. It came down to one single cogs initiation that changed the entire sway of the game. And now, Naix Bomb loaded up. Infinity is over in the jungle. They won't find him. They do, however, find 1437 getting jumped on Infest before he can do much else other than Carapace. But Bone 7 doesn't care, just throws up Rage, Avatar modes in, and secures a kill. And he's down for 30 seconds for his team as Speed Gaming looks to push through. Eternal Envy split pushing bottom, and Sing Sing grabbing mid side. Roshan not up for a few more minutes here. And they'll probably take that and another tier 2 prior to threatening a barracks.
With that gem on Bone 7, you don't have that Nyx option for sneaking around anymore. You don't have the Bounty Hunter option for sneaking around anymore. So that stifles a lot from Dignitas getting into these team fights and picking off some of the lower support heroes. It's just not an option anymore. So great pickups so far from all of Speed Gaming. Like you said, Roshan, when he comes back, which is going to be pretty shortly, we could then see the push come down. But yeah, still 2 tier 2 towers on the map. Here comes the smoke up though, you guys. Dignitas looking to make things happen. The line has been drawn all the way to the dire jungle, and we'll see if this actually catches anybody out. Eternal Envy, not really sure where they are. He's already backing up, thinking they might be coming down to gank him. So this jungle could just be in trouble. There goes the line being drawn from Speed Gaming. They know it's coming down. There has to be a smoke coming out of Dignitas, and it looks like it's not going to work out for them. Really great insight.
It might. He got him with the impale. There's the spirit to deal some more soul assumption on through and actually put him to sleep in time. And still going down to Viper Poison. Probably the best case scenario. EE is here to short things up. BKB is active and ready. Sing Sing showing up as well. Ultimate fires off. And his company is just eating through this Dignitas squad. Korok on the run now. EE nearly full health as his BKB expires. Relic nearly out of mana here, can provide some right-click damage, but not enough to do anything. They will die if they try and turn around. Stomps tries to put the pursuit to rest, but it will not. Avatar from Bone 7, Relic gets chased down. They try to throw up a track to gain some movement speed for Korok to get out. Korok may yet escape, however, at the cost of an EVE godlike streak. Can he finish it and go godlike ×2? There's the Infest. Time lapse is back. Bone 7 in pursuit. The Scepter is active, and Bone 7 forced off the chase. But it doesn't matter. SG has taken a sizable lead yet again and extended it even further. Now down towards the realm of 10k and gold, over 15,000 experience, and that is why Dignitas has no capacity to take these fights anymore.
Roshan is definitely gonna be on the hit list next. There he goes. 3, 2, 1. He is back. Speed Gaming gonna pick that up, and what can Dignitas do at this point? You have to fight in your base at the very least. There's no way they can contest this fight in the Roshan pit, so it's gonna come down to a large base defense, and it's gonna take miracles, I think, ever for them to actually be able to defend against this. I don't know how you can even defend against it. Any which way you spend it. With the Aegis, it gets denied. Is that accident or? Oh no, it was Visage that denied it. Oh,
yeah, familiar.
Props to Dignitas. Sorry, I got my heroes confused on the sides. Really nice deny then.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm sorry.
It's all your fault.
Fire me again.
It's all right. I almost got flamed out in the chat in the meantime for saying Avatar, but it is indeed from Dota 1. I promise you. For those of you who do remember, it is from actually, I should technically say the dwarf. And then it became affectionately known as Zeus, and then Zeus was like a permanent avatar mode to give him some aesthetically pleasing looks, but he wasn't always a steel little dwarf roaming around the woods. He was indeed a normal dwarf that turned into steel. I guess he ascended, more or less, in Dota 1 at a certain point. There's a lot of cool little unique things that have happened, I guess, over the changes of this game. It's nice to see so much evolution, and we're never really talking about the same hero compositions for more than a few months. The meta seems to change up. It's not even an influx of new heroes as much as it was at the beginning. Now, it just seems like a lot of different playstyles are being favored. Last year at TIT, we were talking about Chinese Dota being too hard for the EU squads to handle, and this year, Europe comes and surprises everyone, and Malaysia throws in a little bit of European flair and places third, while 2 European teams take the top 2. So it's really interesting to see this game just change as much as it has on a consistent basis, and even more so now as I'd expect another balancing patch after the international yet again.
Yeah, it's very interesting how much of an effect the balances come into play for the meta. On top of that, though, it's just the teams, they try out new heroes. Even without balance changes, they try out a new hero and say, hey, this is pretty effective. Eternal Envy with the next bomb. Bone 7 popping out. Relic goes down before anybody can respond to that whatsoever. He's out of this fight. Is there a buyback available on him? There is, and you have got to have that buyback come out. The push is coming down from Speed Gaming. They have the Chin Creeps. They have the Hand of God. Eternal Envy is Sing. They're pumped up. The Desolator is ready on Eternal Envy to take down these towers. Buyback is up and about. Astral Spirit goes out. Fends it off. Speed Gaming is playing very, very safe this game.
I will mention one last time for you guys, we are interviewing teams after the best of 3 matches throughout this entire cup. If you guys would like to stick around after the conclusion of this game, if Speed Gaming can go ahead and close this out in 2, we will be interviewing Eternal Envy immediately following, so stick around for that one. If we go to a game 3 and see Dignitas win, we will have an interview from the winning side of their choosing. So really, it's going to come down to the result of this game. Just wanted to make sure you guys didn't hop out of the stream immediately after if you would like to hear from Speed Gaming, as they have changed over their name, and this would be a first huge win for them. Second time they've kind of shifted over their name. It was Kai P, then Rattlesnake International, and now Speed Gaming. And indeed, if you have not heard, the Chinese side will also then be switching over their name. I know that wasn't clear at the start. It wasn't even clear to me, and I run the public relations, so yeah, I felt kind of silly. I was like, they're changing it over to Speed Gaming for rebranding purposes, and they were. But then the owner decided on me that the Chinese team was going to be part of the rebranding effort. So I looked kind of silly.
That's all right. Everybody knows now, so it's all good. It's all gravy.
I'd rather admit it, first and foremost.
Yeah.
And Troll Warlord, able to bulldoze top tier 2. We'll get back over to this game. They're going to try and trade for a tier 2. I don't think this is the pattern to victory that they need. Ports forthcoming out of Dignitas, going to be a little bit slowed down as they all port to the same spot. Sing Sing, Lang Siege. Spirit finally goes into effect. They know better than to fight into that. EE actually in pursuit of Infinity here. And they will. Bone 7 Bomb. Will they be able to shut this down in time? No stun. And he will get away. So Infinity, by the skin of his teeth, walks off that one.
Trying to trade towers there, it's rough when you're up against a troll. Troll is going to take down those towers faster. Eternal Envy was not there with the Desolator, but he just kind of manned on through with Bone 7 to stop the push that was coming onto their bottom tower. And nothing really happened. The tier 2 tower did drop top. Bottom tower for the Dire did take quite a beating, but it did not go down. And now, looks like Dignitas roaming around looking to see if they can get a pick off. 1437 is going to start that out. Bone 7 nowhere nearby. Sentry is going to get dropped out of Pylite Die. Obviously aware of what's going on. And this, once again, is going to get stopped dead in its tracks out of Dignitas. Speed Gaming just calls out every single smoke gank, every single normal gank that tries to happen. Speed Gaming knows. They're right on top of it. They're laying down sentries. They're backing it up. They're grouping up. They are just completely reading Dignitas at every single corner.
They're doing the right things to get back in the game. You have to smoke in that instance to try and dig yourself a hole out. You know you're behind in terms of gold. You have no map control. And Speed Gaming recognizes that. They know that they've had a firm control over this entire game. And that realistically, all they have to do is be patient. They have control of the map. It forces Dignitas into smoke situations. And when they're smoked, there's only one place they can be, and that's in their own jungle. They have the sentries down as well to spot those things out. So even if they didn't know based on those sentries, they would just on lacking of map presence. EE has Naix inside of him and is going to be moving over towards the other side of the jungle just as Dignitas has re-entered this side. But instead, EE continues up farming and will not find absolutely anyone. He elected to go the BKB build this time around instead of LS, which I do indeed like a whole lot. But the phase boots have showed up again, and at this point, can we doubt them? I mean, really?
I don't think so. It's worked twice in a row for Eternal Envy.
He's godlike.
Yeah. Don't fix it if it ain't broken, and I don't think it's broken. It seems to be working very well. Eternal Envy has just played a mean Weaver last game and this game. You can't really fault him for wanting to pick it up again this game because of how well he did in the previous game. And it's working for him. Weaver can split push so well. It provides the Naix bomb as an option to get into these team fights. It gives Naix that movement to get into the fights as well. Familiars hanging around with this courier, kind of scoping him out. And I like how patient the Speed Gaming is being this game. They obviously have the lead. You would think, hey, we're strong right now, let's go into the base, but it's not like that. It's not like that at all. They're buying their time, and they're keeping their advantage. They're not going to squander that advantage at all. And there it goes. It does get sniped out, finally. It's not going to be a huge deal. Yes, a little bit of gold goes to Dignitas. They lose their courier. But in the end, I think it's going to be all right. Both teams in a stalemate right now. Look at this. Eternal Envy and Bone 7 making their way. This could
It's
just
about to
possibly
end real
decide the
quickly.
game, yeah.
Yeah,
If
it's about to end
Dignitas,
real
go ahead and
quickly.
take it. I will let you do that.
And now Infest right out, coming down on Relic. Relic still not able to set up, gets shut down. Korok throwing down his ultimate, still not able to do anything. Throws up his scepter, tries to walk off into better positioning as Sing Sing and company tear through the team. Korok now in trouble, 3 down, beyond godlike Eternal Envy, 1437. Next on the list is going down in the background, able to pop Vendetta last second, but Infinity not so fortunate. The Eye ends up spotting down 1437, 5-0. Prove Speed Gaming takes that one handily.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Dignitas can honestly do at this point. I feel like the damage is lacking on their side right now, and that's got to be as a result of the gold. You have Kurok with decent items on him, but again, that's all your damage. There's not much. Bounty Hunter isn't really providing that much. The Elder Titan, Ultimate, and Spirit and all that can, but he can't get it off. It couldn't even get fired off in that team fight just because when Speed Gaming initiate these fights, they jump. They jump and they jump hard, and Dignitas barely has a chance to respawn at all. So now Tier 3 tower is going to go ahead and get beaten down on. Racks are going to be exposed here. The Spirit is going to try it and provide some time, but it doesn't matter. Eternal Envy already working on that top tower. Mid Racks is starting to drop now. That Troll ultimate proving to be way too strong for Dignitas to deal with. Earth Splitter goes out, doesn't connect with anybody. This is the end of the line for Dignitas. They're going to try and fight on through. They finned off the Racks. Eternal Envy getting in on the action now. Wants to just focus on the Racks, takes out the melee Racks. Eternal Envy now deep. He looks like he should go down. Yep, he goes down. And now Bone 7 getting in. He has to back up though. Eternal Envy is out of this fight. Sing Sing popping the BKB and backing up on his own as well. 14-7, 37 looking to chase that down. Stuns out. Owie 2000. Owie. The TP can't go through. They kill 2. Is it enough? Is it enough of a punchback?
I don't believe so. Checking
think so.
over at the buybacks. EE has buyback. They should be fine.
Yeah.
Owie, let's see. Also
All buybacks.
has buyback.
available.
Yeah, everyone in this game pretty much
They're
right now,
fine.
except for poor Korok. Come on, Korok, showing
Kurok.
the trend. Stop trying to defy the odds here. we can't have this. 130G. That's all you need. You're in this, buddy.
He'll get there.
No, really, Korok has honestly had really decent positioning in every team fight this game since the beginning when they traded those kills. He got a double kill there, and now Sing Sing actually going to get picked off here. This is good news for Dignitas. As a result, they're going to take a tier 2 and pressure further. Still, enough for buybacks, but they'll have to force him out of Speed Gaming if they would like to protect this Rax.
I think they'll be alright, even without seeing. Once Weaver's up, I think they feel comfortable letting at least the tier 3 tower
15
go
seconds
down.
is plenty of time to take this, even with the fortification, in my opinion.
Not
And
the
now,
Rax,
Bone
only the
7
tower.
Getting ulted on by Korok. Korok just trying to slow things down. Tower going to about half. 1437, 4-stab forward. The support playing such a monster game. Honestly, Owie 2000's having a ridiculous game. Buyback out of Sing Sing. Sing Sing's going to get involved here shortly. They were just waiting for them to get into the base. EE and company right in the background. Both Troll and Weaver blitzing through. 1437 goes down. The split hits one person, not enough. As they end up pretty much all going down at this point. Dignitas on the run. Korok able to TP away. Will BDiz make it as well? And he does indeed. Envy goes the wrong way. He goes top instead of bottom. And unfortunately not able to spot that one out. And now Infinity going to get caught out as a result. And Envy not happy about that beat as port. But 3 down for Dignitas. And Speed Gaming looks to move up mid and end it from here on out, Proof.
I'm so impressed with Speed Gaming's performance, to be honest with you. Just the patience on their team, waiting with that buyback. Sing fought back, and immediately he was there. He TP'd to the tower right here, so he was outside of the base, and he was able to get into the fray immediately. So there was so much patience, and there was really no fear. They knew that they had the time. They didn't even really care that the tower went down. They just waited. They knew they could win the team fight, and that's exactly what they did. And now the base defense has got to come down out of Dignitas. But Bone 7, Eternal Envy, they're deep in. Kurok just getting pounded down on Bone 7. He goes out of the fight. Pylai died. Big ultimate out of that Crystal Maiden. Doesn't really matter. Dignitas is just dropping from Bone 7 and Eternal Envy. And now the tier 3 tower is down. got to be getting called here from Dignitas. We will have an interview coming up pretty shortly here out of Speed Gaming, so definitely do not close the stream just yet. I'm excited to hear from Eternal Envy. I know you guys will be too, so don't go anywhere. Dignitas still kicking at the edge of the grave, about to fall down on into it, but they're still kicking. 3 core heroes down. Do you push through? There's no buybacks.
Yeah, the Rax isn't actually down, so I mean, it would take a huge level of throw to actually have this one not pan out for them. And although they all died, the range Raxes are now down for top and bottom respectively. The Raxes on bottom are indeed exposed, and creeps are going to continue to flood in. All they have to do is just walk on through. It looks like they're just having a bit of fun, chatting back and forth, going a little bit NEL, if you will, on us.
It's North America Dota. I mean, what do you expect?
Well, I mean, most of Speed is Euro.
Yeah, that's
other
true.
than Envy.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, I guess Envy partakes, and Envy was the one to kind of start it up a little
Yeah.
bit, as well as Owie. Owie being from the US, so yeah, of course, all the usual suspects.
Yeah, yep, that's for sure. 1437, Infinity, that is, sneaking around. Owie 2000 might just get caught out here. He is going to get caught out. There goes Infinite. There goes the stun. Track applied. Yep, track is there. Small victories for Dignitas. Got to take what you can get. That 60 seconds respawn time was honestly just not enough for Dignitas. It took them that long just to be able to push out the creeps from their base. So it's grim for Dignitas. I think everybody can almost safely say that Speed Gaming is going to take this 2-0. The gold graphs just out of control for Speed Gaming. Same with the XP graphs, especially the XP graphs. Roshan is back. That's going to be the final tick for Speed Gaming. Take Roshan, take Rax, take Throne. I mean, only one more lane of Rax left. You just go in.
But we have another familiar this time around. We'll see if a
He's
deny
ready.
comes out and more prizes are awarded. Yep, he knows what's going on. Let's see if he can get it. He's got to move in now. And no, too late. Oh, Familiar just gets ousted instantly. This time around. They knew better. Maybe they were trying to bait it. So this time around, no such luck. Bone 7 picks up the Aegis of the Immortal in exchange for his magic stick, which he's been carrying faithfully throughout the entirety of this game. We were over the 20 kill marker before even 20 minutes, and now over 60 kills before we're even at 60 minutes. Hopefully won't have to go that long to see a conclusion here, as Speed Gaming has this one handily. 20,000 in terms of gold, 30,000 in terms of an experience lead, and sometimes fun costs you. And it looks like they are looking to wrap this one up. We'll probably have much tighter play in this next team fight as they approach the mid lane. They're just waiting for Owie to be in tow. As long as he can go ahead and initiate with the team, we'll be fine here. Stun comes out from 1437, not able to catch Envy. Envy eating a little bit of harassment out of Korok and able to kind of whisk that one away with Shikuchi, so really good presence of mind from him. And they're still very patiently awaiting this. The creep waves are handily cleared. Push will come through eventually on bottom as that lane is self-pushing. And Envy going to walk right onto a sentry this time around. Not going to be fortunate enough to stave off that ultimate. So it's not going to need to waste any sort of time lapse. We're going to move into the base. Owie throwing some pressure down on to the barracks. They're all focusing on Envy away from the fight. Time lapse is taken away. He will go down and actually eats cheese just before the soul assumption connects, so he does end up living. 1437 in pursuit on Envy. Infinity gonna try and take him down. They will indeed get a kill, but both Raxes are down. Mega creeps are the results, and Speed Gaming backs off.
Playing it safe, playing it safe. Same old story, Sing Sing TPing out of here. Yeah, he makes it out in time. Pilot died, look at him, man. Up here comes the ultimate. Nope, send back. Just kidding. Big trolls.
No such luck here. Yeah, I mean, really an interesting game the way it played through. You had to know if it was going to go this late into the game, or you were going to trade that many early kills from a Dignitas perspective, that you weren't going to be able to pull out a win against this much carry potential. There's so much net worth between those three. They're nearly all three game leading except for Korok, throwing a little bit of a mix up into the fray. Korok, while he does have a lot of net worth, there's not much he can do for his team. He is a one-man show.
He really is, and you have to get props to Korok. I mean, a Viper solely basically in damage going up against Weaver, Troll, and Nyx. It's tough to beat that. So Kurok had a lot riding on his shoulders, and still look at him. He did fine. His net worth is up there with Weaver, so it's not like he did terrible. He's got 11 kills, did decent farming, and the items go to show that as well. It's just that there was nothing else really for Dignitas to help out with that. They had the Bounty Hunter to try and get them back into the game in terms of gold, and they had Elder Titan there for the team fights, but honestly, how do you get position in this game with the Elder Titan ultimate and sleep? It just hasn't really happened. From what I've seen, it just hasn't happened. Speed Gaming has just completely dominated these team fights. And now, Pylite Die baiting out there. He has the BKB, has the Ghost Scepter as well. Ultimate not back yet. Sin back from the Chin Creep. Meanwhile, in the actual Radiant base, the 3 core heroes, they're here. They're taking down towers. They look to have a go. 3 versus 5, let's do it. 3 versus 4, actually. 1437 down. Kurok taking some right hits from Eternal Envy. Eternal Envy pops the BKB. Looks to have a go on Kurok once again. Kurok with the Ghost Scepter, negating all that damage that Eternal Envy wants to throw at him. And now Nyx getting in there. He's pumped up. He has his armlet toggled. Rage was toggled as well. The base is slowly dying though. Sing Sing, he's been put on that task. He's gonna go ahead and beat it on through. Ultimate is gonna be popped here. Sing goes down though. Good Earth Splitter, but the wagons, the creeps, they're all pounding down on this throne. It can't last long. Bone 7 has to pop the Aegis. He's gonna come back. Does he try and make it out? Does he just pound on the throne? He's gonna go for the throne. Just mans up with the rage. A few more right clicks will do it. Trying to sleep him, it's not gonna matter. Owie there with the right clicks as well. Speed Gaming officially takes this game, takes the match 2-0, moving on into round 2.
First win under the match name, under their belts, and stick around, guys. Eternal Envy gonna be with us shortly. We're gonna have a quick impromptu interview with him regarding their win, name change, and the future for the team up in Korea coming up here shortly. Don't miss it. It's going to be in a matter of moments. Just going to bridge him on into the call for you guys. Thanks for sticking around today. My name is Ever, joined alongside by Prove. And we'll have this loaded up shortly, and I'll let Prove take us out while I